This movie shows how to add your own antennas in Antenna-Magus. What happened before Antenna-Magus offered content management? Thousands of years ago, information was stored on scrolls and years later in filing cabinets. Today, various tools exist to manage information like Picasa for photos, iTunes for music, and SharePoint for documents. But these tools would never work for storing antenna information. Antenna information is different. A single design can contain various types of information, like pictures, graphs, model files, design equations, and various types of documents. Dusty storerooms are filled with undocumented physical prototypes, along with inaccessible piles of paperwork or badly categorized disks and hard drives. Some people prefer to store the knowledge inside their heads, but this makes sharing almost impossible. Engineers have years of antenna experience, stored in various ways. And instead of reinventing the wheel every time, this valuable information should be stored. But how?
Thomas, have you got that other MATLAB file for me?
Which version?
Didn't Brian extend the...
Where did we
range on these
archive
design
2005?
I think that was in 07.
I don't think that's back then.
Sharing and storing information like this is the old way. Antenna-Magus is the new way. Users can now easily add their own antennas to the existing Antenna-Magus database, or import an antenna from a colleague, like I'm doing now. Now let's have a look at the circularly polarized stacked patch which my colleague created. I can edit this antenna. I will find a picture and a short summary of the antenna's performance and more detail about the antenna, which were added using the text editor inside Antenna-Magus. He also attached various reference files, a published IEEE paper, some Microsoft documents, a MATLAB file, and a photo of the antenna with descriptive keywords to help me find the antenna when I need it. He also added design parameters, like design frequency of 1.5 GHz, a 10 mm disc diameter, sketches, and design guidelines with handwritten notes and equations. He uploaded a Microwave Studio and FECO model, and the parameters inside these simulation models are linked with specific design parameters. I can now redesign this antenna at a different frequency and export new simulation models. He added S11 and S21 graphs, and I recently measured this antenna and am adding the gain pattern, which I can later share with him. Now let's design this antenna at a new frequency. Antenna-Magus calculates new parameters, and the measured data is scaled by frequency. I can now export new FECO and Microwave Studio simulation models. These are the same models that were added by my colleague, with new model parameter values. Note that the new disc diameter has been scaled from 10 to 5 mm. I can also compare my antenna with other existing antennas in the database to make sure that I've chosen the best element for my design. Finally, I want to export the updated version of my antenna with the added pattern measurement so that I can share it with my friend. This new feature has forever changed the way antenna information should be managed. It is the new, improved way, designed especially for antenna engineers. Let Antenna-Magus help you to store accumulated antenna knowledge in a logical and familiar way, to be reused or simply shared amongst colleagues and friends.